Hey, what up? This is your boy, the Solo Traveler ORD. Thanks again for checking out another one of my videos. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it. Hit that bell while you are here. So I wanted to do a response video on what's going around. We have this passport bro, Auston Holloman, who has been going through a lot of controversies while he was down there in Brazil. So basically, from his hometown of Houston, I believe it is, the Fox 32, or I'm sorry, not Fox 32, or Fox 26, it's 32 here in Chicago, but Fox, they actually did a report on the whole situation of Auston Holloman. Well, I wanted to go do a reaction on some of the things that was being said in this report, which is pretty interesting. From me watching this, all I can say is that this is a typical rhetoric that we're used to hearing, those of us that travel a lot or just travel in general, about this whole passport bro or blue book gentleman movement that's going on. So I want to do a reaction on this. I wanted to let you guys, give you guys my reaction of what I feel about what is being said in this video. So without any further ado, let's jump into this to see exactly what is going on and what are they talking about. So this is the video, like I said, which is on Fox 26. So let's see what they're talking about.
Back to the Factor Uncensored. Is sex in your travel itinerary? It's one of the travel goals for a community called the Passport Bros, meaning brothers. It's a traveling community of upwardly mobile black men. Some are accused of going around the world searching for a more traditional and submissive wife.
Let me stop him right there, because first off, he says that this is a group of black men that are going around traveling. Well, basically passport bros is more than just black men. This is all men, leaving out of westernized countries. So I hate that he kind of paint the picture that's only black men, which is basically far from the truth. You know, all of the men that's in the United States, they're actually doing this, from, you know, white to Hispanic, Asian, whatever you could think of. So just to point it as just saying that just one group of brothers and just saying that just dumb is not true. When we say brothers in Passport Brothers, we're saying all of us are all brothers, instead of just saying it's just one type of ethnicity, which is what they're used to, you know, here in the Matrix in the United States. So that's why to them, they're thinking it's only just segregated to just brothers and not just everyone.
But is it all about sex and just a girlfriend for hire and then return home to humiliate black women in America? That's the controversy that we're dealing with.
Also, I want to talk about that too, saying humiliating, you know, saying black women in the United States, which is, I find it to be kind of funny, because for the past 30 years, probably even more than that, you know, a lot of these women has been jumping on a lot of these talk shows, talking about, you know, that, you know, black men, that they're garbage, they're trash, that they don't take care of the business, that, you know, we have more kids out of wedlocks and things like that, which I find to be very funny that they've done all this stuff on all these daytime shows, even on, like, let's say for example, like The View, to talk shows. I mean, come on, this has been going on for so many years. Even on this primetime type of a show, that, you know, they're even talking about that. So I find it funny that, you know, they've, you know, created all these narratives all these years, but now that when a brother is basically voicing his opinion about, you know, what he likes, what he wants, now it's become to be bashing and is basically talking bad about these types of women.
One of its members, Auston Holman, is apologizing for comments that he made about Brazilian women. Take a listen.
What I meant by when I said that Brazilian women are easy, and I shouldn't use the word easy, I know that now, I'm sorry. But what I'm saying is, for a man that's well-mannered, well-dressed, that has put in the effort to raise himself, he will have an easier time in Brazil, as opposed to where I was from, that wasn't always the case.
Both American and women around the world are...
Well, first off, I want to say I'm glad that he cleared that up, because for us, when it comes down to, you know, dating in the United States, it's a lot more straightforward out of the country, because when he says easy, although they may have took it the wrong way, but we're basically saying that it's a lot more easier to court a woman go on a date, less games that you have to play, all these phone tag games and you know, all that stuff. And these women has these high expectations of what they're looking for, what they want you to spend, you know, before they can actually move on to the next steps of the relationship. I'm glad he had a chance to clarify that, because he was being drugged through the mud because of his comments. But nonetheless, you know, it is what it is compared to westernized men, is that it's a bit more easier to court these women, much more easier to go on dates and things like that than it is here in the States, because there are several factors that will prevent a lot of men from going to the next level.
Speaking out against the passport bros, arguing these guys are using their status to take advantage of women, and even calling it a form of sex tourism and sex.
I gotta stop here, because they're saying that they're using their status to take advantage of women and so forth. But no one says this to all the ball players. No one says this to all the rappers. These rappers that done, you know, throw their money around these strip clubs, getting strippers pregnant, which are poor women. You know, these, I mean, come on, how many women do you know that's on Section 8? There is a lot of these women that are in the poor category, but, you know, if you were to date them, they're not going to say anything. I mean, it will be the same way. If a ball player, or, you know, let's say baseball, basketball, whatever, if they were to deal with one of these types of women, no one would say anything at all. There will be no problems.
Trafficking. Let's talk about it. Communications specialist Priscilla Pack and Rochelle Gemini both are here on The Factor Uncensored. We were supposed to do this last week. We're doing it this week. You have done a lot of research. When you think about and what you've heard about passport bros, your opinion on this so-called group?
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar. You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9, so that's cool. Passport brothers, that's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, you know, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care.
And again, you know, they're saying that why you have to put down one thing for another, which basically a lot of these men, they're not even putting, you know, you women down. They're only talking to other men. They're telling other men, look, if you want something better, want better quality, go here, go to another location, and basically it will be a lot better for you. But to them, they look at that as being put down. But like I said, once again, you know, these talk shows has been putting down men for years. I mean, even if you watch a lot of these cartoons or even movies, now men are becoming to be like the bubbling fool, you know, all this stuff. Like the men can't do anything. The men is not a leader. So come on. Like, to say that is very disingenuous for her to even say stuff like that.
That being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
And I hate that they do that. They paint all these women in these other countries as just prostitutes, which is far from the truth. I mean, come on. If we look at it with a lot of the women here in the States, I mean, a lot of them are doing prostitute things, such as, you know, a lot of them will not do anything with you unless you pay them. You know, they want to, you know, I mean, it comes down to the point that, you know, you could be paying a woman phone bill to get with them here in the States. So, I mean, to say that, I mean, a lot of them are doing a lot of this prostitution, quote unquote, you know, things or actions that is leading to it, but they're saying it's not prostitution, you know. Or, you know, a lot of women say that, you know, he needs to take that woman on a date, which is, you know, exchange, you know, of time and money, resources. So it's almost the same way. That's just the way I look at it.
And that's what they're covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Auston, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really about to happen.
Gotta stop you here again. Here's another thing that just came to mind. You know, Netflix and chill. So there's a lot of that stuff going on, dude. I mean, come on now. I mean, there's these apps, Tinder, that's going on that people are hooking up. So what are they talking about? What is she talking about?
Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. You know, they also came out saying, we know these passport bros, they not new.
So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply Johns on the streets of America.
They might.
Man, you know what?
You're a sucker and a simp.
That's how I feel about him trying to lead on these women, you know, talking about these Johns and so forth, you know. So what is the difference to a person being here in the States being played? You know, he take this woman on dates, several dates, not to even get any further with dealing with her. I mean, I know that it's partly his fault because, you know, he should know the signs that she's not really into you, but sometimes these women will lead on these men and making it seem like, you know, that they're into them, you know, just to get these free meals and so forth. So what's the difference?
Might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but you didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we not just in America. You can claim wherever you want to be.
Oh, let some rotten apples into our group. What about these divestors that you guys, you know, are friends with?
I got good news.
Yes,
Every 18 minutes, a black guy is now killed by the police.
that's what's up. I think we can get it down to 15. Blue Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Anytime. I don't care. Get a passport. Go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal. Go do your thing. We don't care.
And of course, we're not talking about all individuals who may travel out of the country. But Priscilla, for those who may be taking advantage of women out there and then trying to humiliate black women in America, your thoughts about that?
I think it's really, really sad. Like, I look at them and I almost want to pity them, but then I don't, because there's a level of ignorance that's deplorable. Go ahead and use that word today. I think that they are taking advantage, at least from what they project themselves to be as a group. They're taking advantage of gender gaps and economic opportunities.
They're taking advantage of gender gap and economic opportunities. So what I find it funny because a lot of these women will say they want a brother that makes over 6 figures. Isn't that taking advantage of men? So when a man basically wants to, you know, be in power, you know, as far as you know, as far as the relationship or you know, being the man in the house, it's a problem. You know what I mean? So there is always a struggle. It's always a power struggle. So in the sense, basically, you want a simp. That's what it is.
You're a simp.
That's what they want, a simp. But then the funny thing is, at the end of the day, they'll say, where are the strong men at? Where are they? Where are all the real men at? Come on.
That are not there in these other countries that are present for us in America, in the States, in Canada, in Scandinavia, all over the world, and not even thinking back to the history of why are women and people made to be so independent in this country today. I think there's so many factors that they shove to the side.
No, I look at it as this. She's upset that we're taking our attention, our resources, such as money, and all of that stuff somewhere else. We're spending it on someone else, and she's upset about that. She don't like that. It's bad business for them. They don't care about anything else, just the fact that once you take the resources away, it's a problem.
For their preferences and trying to deem it a movement, which is so disappointing to hear. The civil rights movement was a movement.
Facts.
You know, anti-apartheid movement was a movement.
Come on.
So I'm thinking...
This is still a movement. Still a movement no matter what, because brothers are saying, you know what, we're done complaining. We're not even going to complain to you guys anymore. We're just going to continue moving to other greener pastures. So this is a movement which is more than just 3 or 5 different people. This is hundreds of brothers saying, forget this. We're done with westernized culture. We're making the move. We're making the switch.
Of passport bros, like, this is a shame. You could really take advantage of your opportunity to educate people on how to get a passport, to go overseas, travel the world, and to learn, and not just make it be about sex. And the fact that
that's how you know they don't know what they're talking about, because brothers are still doing that. Like, I've been in these WhatsApp groups for years, Facebook groups, and we've been educating brothers on how to get businesses, how to move out of the matrix, how to live out of the matrix to become an expat. We've been doing this stuff for years, and it's funny that, she's saying a lot of the stuff that she has no knowledge sense about, just talking out of the side of her mouth.
Now you're putting this stigma on people and black people in America. That is literally mushing us down. I hate that I said mushing, couldn't find a better word right there.
Right.
But like bringing us down. Right. They all know. They know. But what does that do for our perspective?
Them talk some of them, not all of them, talk so badly about black women in America, saying you guys are too bossy, you're too much, you're not feminine enough for.
How is that talking about someone when it's the truth? When we say that, hey, you know what? This is not, we don't want this. This is not what we want. We don't want a woman that's bossy. We want a woman that's more cooperative. But that's a problem. But then when they say, oh, well, we want a man that could pay all the bills. We want a man that could take control. Oh, that's a problem. I mean, that's not a problem for them. You know what I mean? They could have all this. They could say the man needs to be 6 foot tall, make 100K, 6-pack, all the sixes. But, preference, it doesn't mean anything. But when a man says, no, I want you to be fit, I want you to be cooperative, I want to have peace, it's a problem
for them.
I think that sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to seek what you want with what you have, where you are. That's what I really think about that. It almost disgusts me and is borderline gaslighting to sit here and treat American women, American black women, and try to shut us down because we may be educated or have the ability to obtain certain finances and social status that we're not in other countries.
Men never said that's what we wanted. We don't care about you having your money. We don't care about your degrees. All we really care about is basically a wife. I mean, we're not looking for another man.
You attract.
It's a shame
what you put out there too.
It's a shame.
All right.
Like, don't put that on us. Yeah, don't put that on us.
Thank you, ladies, for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Still ahead on the.
So there you have it. The fact that, it's the regular rhetoric stuff that has been going on for the past couple of months. You've been seeing a lot of these videos on TikTok of these women talking crazy about, about men and so forth. And the funny thing is, I look at this like, is this supposed to make us stay? Is this supposed to make men want to stay here with you guys? Because from what is being said, it's just some more shame, some more stuff that just doesn't really, it doesn't help out. It doesn't help out your cause of telling men to stay, because of all the stuff that's being said. I'm sorry, I don't see no reason why men would want to stay. I think that basically with this interview, this made men want to leave even more. I mean, just from all the videos from TikTok, just that alone, and now that this is becoming to be even more public, that the passport bro movement is on the national networks and things like that. Oh, more guys are going to start waking up and seeing what's going on, and all I gotta say is that a lot of these women, they're going to have to either change or they're going to have to just let it go, because I tell you, 2023, more brothers are going to be traveling, looking for other options. And I don't blame them for that, because it is what it is. I mean, look at this. Every TikTok video is a shame. They say that we're the P word. They say that we're dusties. They say we don't have money. They say that we can't. I mean, come on. I mean, we got grandmothers jumping on here and talking crazy. So, but it is what it is. Yo, my brothers, get your passport. So, this is your boy, the Solo Travel ORD. Thanks again for checking out the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.